What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. And the movie I want to take a look at right now is The Power of the Dog. Now, this one is actually from Netflix, and this is going to be their humongous awards play this awards season. It is directed by Jane Campion. I hope I pronounced that correctly. This one tells the story of a charismatic rancher named Phil Burbank who inspires fear and awe in those around him. When his brother brings home a new wife and her son, Phil torments them until he finds himself exposed to the possibility of love. So that is your plot right there. It is set in 1925, just so you can get kind of an image as I'm talking about it. But, going into this, I don't even remember seeing a trailer for it. I was just kind of excited for it just because, it's Netflix pushing, their awards consideration films, and, Benedict Cumberbatch and Cody Smith-McPhee, Kirsten Dunst, Jesse Plemons, which I think, is this the first one they've done together? They are together in real life, so it's fascinating that this is their first one, and they play love interest in this too. I didn't really have much going into it. I just knew that this was being talked about amongst all the critics that I follow online, and of course Netflix pushing this for your consideration stuff. I really wish I did a top 10 from last year. This movie's phenomenal. It definitely would be on the list. I loved pretty much everything about this. I don't have really any gripes about it. It is very powerful in all aspects of filmmaking and performance, and just how everything kind of came together. It was filled with rage and anger and grief and hope and love and just what it means to be human, just the whole emotional range of what it means to be a human being. It was really extraordinary stuff. To start with director Jane Campion, what I really liked about this one is that it is a Western, or at least it kind of feels like one. It's not like a straight and true Western that we're used to seeing, but it's got kind of a Western setting and feel and kind of lumber about it. But what this film is ultimately about is the dissection of masculinity and what it means to be a man. And we get to see it from all types. Benedict Cumberbatch's character, he is a person that thinks that he has to be tough. He thinks that he has to be fearful and, in people's faces, and like that's what it means to be a man. You gotta be tough. You're not gonna make it out there in the world. You're not gonna survive. And that's the thought process that he has. Cody Smith-McPhee, he is discovering himself. He is coming of age. He is growing up right before our very own eyes, and he is discovering his sexuality. He's discovering, different father figures in his life. He's trying to figure all that out because his father has passed. That is the stage that is set for those characters. And speaking of those characters, Kirsten Dunst plays his mother. She's going through grief, and she's just trying to make it work. And she knows that when Phil torments her and stuff, like, she knows that she can't really fight back. And that's really sad to kind of watch. And you see her kind of go down this emotional rabbit hole that she cannot get out of. And she needs that kind of support around her, aka her son. And then Jesse Plemons, he is, he's a kind man. He's someone that has a lot of pride and a lot of morals. And just, you feel like he's a warm human being that you could talk to and you could trust, and so that's the whole thing about this film, is that it just kind of showcases all different types of what men were like, and what men are still like, and how men try to fit into society, and which route are you going to go? Are you going to try to be as tough as nails and be a D-bag everywhere, or are you going to try to be kind? You're going to try to help others. You're going to try to spread love and not hate and fear and all that stuff. And so I really like that kind of approach to the story. It really takes its time and kind of adds like this underlying tension that's happening between all the characters with the whole masculinity thing, but also with the internal struggles that they're all going through. And so you can feel that on screen. It's just, there's such nuanced performances that it really just strikes this, like I said, just this constant wave of tension throughout the entire story. And I think Jane masterfully did that, making us really kind of being invested from the moment it starts. Also, a credit to Jane and the cinematographer is the look of the film. It's absolutely stunning. The cinematography is it's rich, it's textured, it's beautiful. You can pause each frame and turn it into a painting. It's it showcases, I don't know if they actually shot in Montana, but it showcases the landscape as beautiful and as just peaceful as it is. But what's great is that contrast, because you have the landscaping, you have the beauty that is the mountains and the grass and the cows and just the overall environment. But on the inside, you have all these characters battling each other at all times. So you have this conflict that's going on a small scale while being wrapped up in this kind of beautiful setting. I love contrasted kind of visual cues like that. So, but yes, absolutely stunning. Really showcases the environment really, really well, and just kind of puts you in the mood for 1925. So, but yes, now let's dive into the performances. I think, like I said, Jane Campion. Fantastic job on her part in all those different aspects and kind of managing all that stuff and really just kind of bringing that vision to life. I would be okay if she got nominated for Best Director at the Oscars. I think she's that good helming this film. The performances are out of this world. And to be quite honest, if all four of them got nominated, I wouldn't be upset. This is one of the best Benedict Cumberbatch performances I've ever seen. The amount of rage that this man holds within his character and not be vulnerable is pretty impressive. You know, like I said, he's the tough man. He wants to kind of put on a show. He wants to be like the leader of the group. He doesn't want to take anything from anybody. Like, having that confidence on the outside of his character, and then know on the inside that he is lonely, he is sad, he is rageful. It makes him really complex, and he's not just like the full-on, villain that mustache twirling. Where it's like there's a lot to him, but he can't talk about it because of the just setting and the environment that they're in. Men are not supposed to talk about their feelings. Men are not supposed to be doing any of that stuff. So he bottles it in and he takes it out on other people. Very bad behavior, but you are a little empathetic towards him, because you want to see him grow. You want to see him go beyond that. And then by the end of the film, it may be too late. So I really loved kind of like his nuance, kind of controlled performance that he did. Just kind of like just cut through everything. But there's just so much emotional richness within him. Jesse Plemons, also really great. He's great in everything. But this is just a very kind of like stoic role for him. He's very quiet, but he's just a very thoughtful person, and just he really kind of comes across that way. He's very caring towards his wife. He does the best that he can, even though his brother is a complete D-bag sometimes. Really just kind of like it's a very just kind of in the moment performance, and I really like it. Cody Smith-McPhee. I know that Benedict Cumberbatch and Kirsten Dunst and Jesse Plemons are getting all of the recognition from this film, but Cody Smith-McPhee is so good in this movie. As a kid that is going through grief, discovering who he is, discovering his sexuality in real time, doesn't have a father figure trying to latch onto anything, and so he unfortunately latches onto Phil at some point. It's the type of like kind of not child performance, because he's like in his 20s, but you know what I mean, like a younger person within the character's sense. I don't know what I'm saying, but you get it. Anyways, his perspective as like more of like a kid versus like an adult who has been kind of weathered in this world. We get to kind of see it from his POV, and it's really just kind of a beautiful thing, just kind of seeing him figure it out. And I thought his performance was really, really great as well. Kirsten Dunst needs to be nominated. The amount of sadness and grief that is channeling through her character, she portrays that super well, because once again, she's not really supposed to show any emotions either. She's supposed to be strong for her son and her new her new boyfriend and everything, soon to be husband. She's trying to be strong, but like that she's just slowly dying on the inside, and seeing her choosing specific paths and going down them, really just sad to see. And I think that emotional heft that she brings, it's unmatched. All the performances just absolutely click within this film. I mentioned directing, writing, cinematography, performance. Music is also nice. Kind of just reminds me of just nice kind of Western music to kind of set you in the mood, and I really liked it. It's 2 hours long. It does take its time. It is a slow burn, if you will, but I was emotionally invested, not within the characters, but with the story. I loved the way it looked. I was so wrapped up into it that 2 hours didn't really bother me. It was paced out really well, even though it was more of a take its time type of approach, which I really appreciate. This film is amazing, and I really hope it goes really far with the awards consideration. So I really love this movie, and if I were to create a list from last year, it would be on that list. So there you go. So please let me know down below what you think of The Power of the Dog. I would like to know your thoughts on it, whether you loved it, hated it, or whatever. I would like to read your thoughts on it. But that will do it for this review, guys. I'm Chase Lee, and tune in next time for whatever I review next. I will see you guys later.